I felt it in. No time for that doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built the win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back for another episode, another preview. You might be like, Carl, it's Sunday. It's college today. Yes, sir. Labor Day weekend, best week in football. Got football from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even tomorrow, Monday. So I'm going to talk about both games. I'm going to talk about tomorrow and Monday night, and then recaps will come tomorrow. The recap is going to feature the game tonight and all the previous games that I was going to recap prior. And I'm going to hit you with a quick episode Monday night after the game just to recap the game Monday night. But before I start into these previews, I like to shout out. I like to ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe. You know, my channel, CTC, by the Refuse to Lose Network. We also got shows like The Main Show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave going through previewing all the NFL teams, all 32 teams. I think they're finished. I think they just finished. I think Cowboys is the last team. Oh, no. I don't think they did the Eagles yet. So the Eagles, I think they still got to do the Eagles. Excuse me. But they're close. They're close to being done. Then you got BWT, Baseball with Teddy. All your baseball news content goes through there. Tigers win another series, beating the Red Sox 2-1, 70-68. Now 5 games behind, I believe, the Twins or Royals for that last wild card spot, working hard, fighting to get that last wild card spot. We got FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. Fantasy Football is literally 5 days away. Ravens Chiefs Thursday. So all your fantasy football news goes through him. We have RBO Real Ballers Only. That's featuring Vaughn. NBA content should be picking up soon. Goes through him. We have Dave's Doghouse, highlights and lowlights of sports. He makes dogs and put dogs in a doghouse. College might have gained 2 dogs. Might have gained 2 of them. Then we have Kings Talk with Joe Jordan. Sacramento Kings content all goes through him. Kings fan, so he's going to talk about everything dealing with the Kings. We have In the Red Corner featuring Ty, Ricky, and Tomo. All your boxing news and content goes through them. And last but certainly not least, we have Unfazed, I believe, every Tuesday. AJ and Joe, more of a debate show format. So they'll debate multiple topics. So look out for that one, new show on the network. But I believe that's all the shows. So please like, comment, share, subscribe to all of them. If you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now we're going to preview, obviously, the game that comes on in less than 30 minutes, USC and LSU. Should be a fun one. Should be a high-power offensive game. Should be the opposite of Texas A&M Notre Dame. Texas A&M Notre Dame was a defensive slugfest. Today should be points, and more points, where actually defensive stops will come at a premium. As you see one of my previews, it's going to sound like, ain't that the fundamental of football? It'll make sense when I explain it. But before I do that, let's get into these comments. We got my boy Tony, Georgia fan. Huge win against Clemson at a neutral site game, 30-43 against Clemson. Shout out. He said, what's up, bro? What's good with you, bro? Big win for y'all. And then we got my boy Vaughn. He said, let's get it. That was a huge win for North Carolina against Minnesota. Y'all got lucky. I will say that. Y'all got lucky, bro. Big Ten Kicker of the Year. He ain't show up. And then my last one, we got Tony again saying, ain't no defense getting played tonight. Exactly. My sentiments is the same. One more just popped up before I go. I should skip it, but shout out my boy Tomo. He said Terps, good way to start off the season. Yeah, they blew out UConn, but y'all know who y'all gotta see next week. And hopefully we don't play as bad as we did against FAU. That will be tomorrow. That'll be talked about tomorrow. All right. Get the comments down. Oops. All right. So again, USC, LSU. Now, if you're new here, if you're new to my previews, I get 5 keys. I think each team it would take for them to win the game, and then I give a winner. I'll start with the road team. Well, in this case, since it's a neutral site game, this one is I put in quotation marks neutral site as well because it's in Las Vegas. USC is like maybe 2-3 hours away. LSU is on the other side in the south, so advantage USC there. But we'll start because USC is technically the road team, I think. So number 23rd ranked USC. Can Miller Moss recreate the Holiday Bowl magic? We saw him in the Holiday Bowl against Louisville. He went crazy. Torched that Louisville defense, who wasn't bad. Wasn't a bad defense at all. Torched them. They put up 42. They won the bowl game 42-28. He had a spectacular game. And that kind of led to the point where Miller Moss got the steam to start. He is the starter tonight. They announced it, I think today. So he is the starter. He won the job over Jaden Maeva, the UNLV transfer. So we'll see Miller Moss. Can they get more stops than LSU? Now, this is the key I have for USC where you might, well, ain't that the fundamental of football? Yeah. But defense ain't in none of these teams' calling cards. It's not an LSU calling card, and it's definitely not a USC calling card. If you remember when I did my Big Ten preview, a lot of USC defensive stats was in the hundreds. Now, it's only 130 schools that were statistically ranked because Jack State and Sam Houston State, their statistics really didn't count because their season kind of didn't count. So it was out of 130. It'll be 132, I think, this year. And they were hundreds in all of them. So they got to get a stop. We're going to move on. Can they stop Kyron Lacey and CJ Daniels, which is going to be a dynamic duo? Kyron Lacey now stepping in with the wide receiver 3 behind Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors last year, now looking to be number 1. And CJ Daniels, the transfer from Liberty, who had a really good year with Caden Salter and the boys and Jamie Chadwell's head coach, now going to bigger and brighter football in the SEC. He's looking to step up and have the same, if not better, year at LSU. But can USC stop that? Will Zachariah Branch be able to step up as wide receiver number 1? Now, I believe Zachariah Branch will now be number 1 with the departure of Mario Williams. He's now at Tulane. Brendan Rice took the leap, went to the NFL. Dorian Singer, he left. I can't remember where he is currently, but he's gone. And they lost Taj Washington. He's also and took the leap and went to the NFL. So I believe Zachariah Branch, the sophomore, is now stepping up in that number 1 wide receiver role. And can he do that? I know, excellent returner, explosive player, but it's different when you got to get off the line, get those releases. Can he step up going against number 1 corners? And they have to identify where Harold Perkins is at all times. Harold Perkins, one of the most dynamic defensive players in the country, can pass rush, can play middle linebacker, can cover. He's one of the best defensive players in the country. I believe I had him winning Defensive Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. So you got to identify him at all times because he could wreck a game on the defensive line, the linebacker, all that. He's a game wrecker. For LSU, is Garrett Nussmeier ready to replace Jaden Daniels? Jaden Daniels coming off of a Heisman year now on the Commanders, starting quarterback, had 50 touchdowns, 1,100 rushing yards, like 4,000 passing yards or something like that. Had an amazing year for LSU last year. One of the best offenses in the country. Garrett Nussmeier now has to fill those shoes. Is he ready? Now, he showed in the ReliaQuest Bowl against Wisconsin that he's a pretty good quarterback, had a really good game against Wisconsin, was able to pull out the W 35-31. But one game doesn't make it, just like Miller Moss, one game doesn't make it. So we have to see it done multiple times. For LSU, can this defense create turnovers? Stops, turnovers, picks. Gotta get stops, man. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. This is a game where stops matter big time because they're going to come few in between. So you got to get them. And off those stops, you got to make them count. Can Josh Williams get going in the run game? LSU run game kind of was like a lot of Jaden Daniels last year. The running backs for LSU have to be better this year. They have to be able to open holes for Josh Williams and the guys. Can't really rely on quarterback runs as much this year, so they have to step up in the run game. Can they get pressure on Miller Moss? Get pressure on Miller Moss, make him throw some picks. Like I said, he's kind of relatively young. in terms of playing. So can they get pressure under him, make a bad decision, throw the ball away, rush reads, things like that, become inaccurate. They have to mess with the passer. And Kyrie Lacy is now the number 1 wide receiver. We've seen him do well as the number 3, but it's different when you're the number 1. You're the one that's on the scouting report. You're the one that's on the top of the scouting report. You're the guy, hey, we need to stop him. We seen Kayshon Boutte in 2022 fall off. Now, I don't want to say, all right, so we seen Kayshon Boutte 2021 at LSU have a great year, become an All-American preseason candidate, and then 2022 not have a good year. Didn't look the same. It's going to be like that for Kyron Lacy. I don't think he's going to fall off. What I'm saying is he's going to be at the top of the scouting reports, and he has the potential to be that. Now, I personally don't think he will. I think Kyron Lacy is good enough to be the number 1, but we don't know. And with that being said, I do have LSU winning the game. I think LSU just has the better athletes on defense. Major Burns, Harold Perkins, guys like that. I think they can get more stops than USC. It's just bad defensively. It's been bad for a while. LSU last year was bad defensively, but 2 years ago, they weren't that bad defensively. Last year was just a total collapse. They do have the ability to play better defense than USC. So I do go with LSU to win the game. Let's get into the comments before I preview Monday night's game. Tom will put the laughing emojis because of what I said earlier. My boy Bud, shout out Bud. He said, let's go. Then he says, if Florida players posting after 10, that's not curse word, on IG is real. I don't even know if that was real. I feel like that was probably Photoshop, but who knows these days. And then my boy Tony said LSU wins 37-24. Not enough points for me. I mean, hey, that's a good score prediction, but I took an over 63.5. So I need more points. 37-27, that gets me at 64, which is good enough for me. And then Javon says USC defense is still trash, huh? We can only go off the past 2 years. I mean, until shown otherwise, it's still trash. I mean, that's just how I see it. I know last year some guy in my comments was, oh, you don't know the recruits that Lincoln Riley's bringing over, all these high talented guys and this and that. And they were still one of the worst defenses in Power 5 football. So I have to see it before I say otherwise. But we're going to move on to Boston College and Florida State at Florida State. Florida State coming in ranked 10 because the new AP poll hasn't dropped yet because all the teams didn't play when Florida State lost last week. Last week was week 0. They don't update until the end of the Monday game. So Tuesday should be the new rankings, and they won't be at 10. I'll tell you that much now. Boston College at Florida State. Florida State coming in at 16.5-point favorite, 7:30 on ESPN Monday night. Excuse me. So for Boston College, make DJ Uiagalelei beat you with his arm. As you've seen against Georgia Tech, DJU, a lot of dinking and dunking, a lot of missing receivers downfield, not even giving receivers a chance downfield against Georgia Tech in Dublin. Boston College is looking to recreate that themselves, establish and stick with the run. Georgia Tech again had almost 200 rushing yards against Florida State. Florida State surprisingly got bullied by Georgia Tech. Now, Georgia Tech is one of the better running schools in the country, and I think they were the best rushing school in the ACC last year. So it's a little different, but Boston College let to run the football too. Kyle Robichaux and Thomas Castellanos at quarterback. So they got to stick with the run. They got to try to dominate the line of scrimmage. That leads to the next point. Thomas Castellanos has to use his legs, even when he's dropping back to pass, which Bill O'Brien, new head coach, probably calling plays as well. He's going to let Thomas Castellanos be himself. He's going to design quarterback runs, powers, sweeps, counters, things like that to get Castellanos going. He might even call draw plays and all that stuff to get Castellanos using his legs and getting the defense honest. I say for Boston College, they got to make this a low-scoring game. If they make this a low-scoring game, then they can hang around, try to win it in the end, and make FSU face 3rd and longs. Again, FSU, they kind of want 3rd and short so they can open the playbook, don't have to rely on DJ Uiagalelei completing passes, especially deep passes. So they want to keep it 3rd and short so they can try to run things in the flat, stop routes, stuff like that, keep the drive going. Now for Florida State, they got to stay in front of the chains. Again, they like to face 3rd and shorts, use Roydell Williams, stuff like that to gain first downs. They have to get the ball in Jalen Lucas' hands. I do think they need to get the ball in Jalen Lucas' hands. If y'all remember in the previews, I really like the Indiana transfer. I think he could be one of the most explosive guys on this team. Got to give him the ball in end-around screens and open field. Let him make guys miss. Things of that nature. Just got to get the ball in Jalen Lucas' hands. You have to give Boston College in passing situations to let Patrick Payton and Marvin Jones Jr. Hunt, two of the best edge rushers and pass rushers in the game. If you allow them to hunt, they'll get to the quarterback. Contain Thomas Castellanos. Again, you don't want him leaking out and rushing lanes and passes, especially if you're running man-to-man, because then the back is turned, and that leads to gaping holes and gashes on your defense. And lastly, you have to defend the run better because, again, you got bullied by Georgia Tech. Boston College is another school looking to come in and run the ball. You can't allow that to happen twice, or you will see yourself starting 0-2. But with that being said, I do think Florida State wins the game. I think – okay, I don't know why I just did that. I don't know why I buffered. But I think Florida State, they watched the film. They probably got cursed out by Mike Norvell. And they're like, nah, we're not letting this happen again. We have to go out and we got to be better than this. I think Florida State – I think they don't get bullied by Boston College. I think Georgia Tech had the guys in front to bully them. I don't think Boston College got the guys in front to bully them like that. I think they come in with a better game plan against the run, especially knowing that that's what Boston College and Thomas Castellanos wants to do. Boston College, I don't know if they got the guys on the outside to beat these Florida State defenders, the secondary. So I just see Florida State winning the game. Now, it could be close because, again, Boston College do want to run the ball, so I don't think they're going to completely stop them from running. I just don't think it's going to be as effective as Georgia Tech was. It could be close. Florida State, I think they could win by anywhere between 10 to 14 points. How low of a score game, I don't know, but I just see the game being close. Now, with that being said, let me get to the comments, and then I'm going to outro us out of here. Where am I at? Okay. Hey, my boy Tony said 37-27 to help your boy out. I appreciate you. My boy Teddy says, yo, it was good, Teddy. You just missed the LSU USC preview part. So once this is off, you can go back and listen to that. He says, I don't trust DJ. He has terrible footwork. Hey, bro, in the preview, that's why I told Ace and Dave I was so low on Florida State. I'm out on DJ Ungalale. I'm sorry. But Boston College's new coach is O'Brien, so the ball will be in the air. LOL. I don't know, bro. I just feel like he has to know his quarterback. Castellanos is a runner. He has to know that he has a guy, and his personnel is more geared to the run. I think he is going to pass the ball, but just not as much. I think Louis Bond is still there, wide receiver. I like him, but he has to, especially watching the film against Georgia Tech, he has to come in with the game plan of running the football. How many games will it take Florida State to lose until they change their quarterback? The thing is, I don't even know who the backup is at Florida State, so they might just be riding with DJ Ungalale for the long haul until the season is over. But that's because I don't even know who the backup is. So I think they just ride him out for the year. I'm thinking 2 losses. Nah, I don't think it's gonna take 2 for them to take him out. It got to be drastic. Like, the offense got to be performing at a high, at an all-time low. They losing games because of him, like strictly because of him. Like, even the Georgia Tech loss, I wouldn't fully put it on DJ Ungalale. I would put a lot of it on DJ Ungalale, but not all of it. It got to be dire for him. Tony says 3 or 4 losses. Again, it depends on the losses, but I don't think they replace him. He says FSU will win. However, I don't think it will be easy. My thoughts exactly. I don't think it'll be easy either. And then Bud says, I don't know about 4. I'll say 3 could be a stretch. It got to be bad. Like I said, it just got to be a bad. Like, the season got to go into a tank for them to replace DJ Ungalale. This is last year in college. He decided to transfer them, so they like him. So it got to be bad. But that's all I got for y'all today. The kickoff should be, I would say, anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes. Because, I don't think they're going to exactly kick off at 7:30. I hope they do, but I don't think they will exactly. Hold on. Here go another comment. Luke Cromenhoek is their backup quarterback. I don't know much about him. I don't know how they feel about him. Like I said, man, I think they're going to rely on DJ. If it was like another guy, I get it to like this. If it was a situation where, let's just say Virginia Tech, if Kyron Jones is playing bad, they lose 3-4 games, and they got a guy like Colin Shalee who's actually had starts and did well at Kent State, even though he kind of did pretty poor in late game. But that's not really his fault. He got thrown into the game like super late against Vandy. But they had a guy like him behind him, and he started doing like that. Then I'm like, all right, cool. 3-4 games, they'll replace him because they got a guy behind him who got the experience. But they don't. So I think if it's not too bad, they just try to salvage the season and let him do his thing, and then he's just off to the NFL trying to make the league. So, but yeah, y'all enjoyed this LSU USC game. Put some money on something if y'all want to. I know y'all know I did. I'm a degenerate. I let it be known. I will gamble. Yeah, just enjoy the game. Enjoy tomorrow's game. Like I said, I will be back. No time frame, but just look for me. I'll be back to do all my recaps. They're mostly written out. Just gotta do a couple more. Again, the recaps will feature tonight's game. Well, I'm gonna do it like this. The recaps will feature Thursday to Sunday. So my Thursday games were Jack State, Coastal Carolina, Colorado, North Dakota State. Oh, I can't remember the last one. I can't even remember the last one. That's so bad. But then it was Friday was Michigan State, FAU, and TCU Stanford, which that was a good game. I say that. That was a really good game. I was tired as a mud staying up, but it was a good game. And then y'all know the Saturdays, and y'all know today. I'm so mad I can't remember the Thursday game. What was it? It was Coastal Jack State. No, it was Coastal Jack State. It was Colorado, North Dakota State. And it was one game, but I wasn't really – I had it on my phone. I can't remember. Hold on. This is my preview book? Yeah, this is my preview book. I got it right here. Give me 1 second. It's week 0. UNC, Minnesota. That's what it was. That was a really good game, too. Got delayed because of the storm and all that, but really good game. All right, 2 more comments. Stetson Bennett. Question mark. I don't know, because Stetson Bennett, I think he took over late because of injury, right? Didn't he take over because JT Daniels got hurt? And then he said he could be him. Could be. I don't know. I guess I don't really know much about bro. But I think with the Stetson Bennett situation, JT Daniels got hurt and he took over and he just took the job and never looked back. Or, well, I know that was a part of it, but I think they was already kind of debating between the two too. So, because didn't Stetson Bennett come in for JT Daniels halfway through, was it an Alabama game? It was one game. I think he came in, he played well, but they gave JT the job. JT gets hurt and Stetson takes over and never looks back. It was something around like that. But Stetson Bennett was already in the mix. This guy that you're talking about, Luke, I don't think he's ever been in the mix. So I think that's the difference in the situations. But all right, enough of me rambling. Y'all gonna see me in the chats. So if y'all want to talk more about it, we can talk about it in the chats. But until tomorrow, I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.